Hello everyone and welcome back to the campaign diary for my Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign, Aracséa edition. In today's session, the party get involved with, well, they come face to face with the repercussions of their past actions. So, no in-game time has taken place from this one, as it's more or less just this episode, if you like, it's more or less just an entire battle for like the whole session. We had one big battle for the entire session, and again, it's only about half a session, really. It's like picking up from the 8.5 session from last time. So, with that in mind, picking up where we left it off. So they're at the Hall of the Lonely Lord, that little hotel, if you like, and they head back to Goodmead in time to see the election day festivities kick off. They see each of the candidates along with Captain Indra, who is there. Captain Indra of Easthaven, if you remember, who's there to officiate the vote. She kind of explains normally it would be another speaker from a nearby town, but the speaker of Easthaven obviously is not available because he's recovering from Relsaram's spell, and the speaker of Dugan's Hole, which is the next available place, next village, is just hasn't shown up, just is not around. Another mystery I've thrown their way, but I don't think they picked up on that. Anyway, she again begins the she also explains the election process, which is more or less basically, you know, each of the candidates have about an hour to talk to 12 elders and vie for their vote and debate and cross-process and things like that. And after they've done that, they'll be called to the stage, which is set up, which I mentioned last episode when they came back to Goodmead, and they will vote, and it'll be a way of like show of hands from the elders, and then the Captain Indra also grants the runaways a vote, having since they've served the town and rectified the town's main issue, that being of the reproduction of the Withensmead, and that's the group going around each of the candidates and listening to their manifestos and arguing their points. And in summary, this is what people are voting for. So Merrin, who we all know, who is the dwarf they were pursuing for quite a while. He claims to be making Goodmead a better place and like doubling up on the trade and exporting of Withensmead and getting more money into the town and making it more prosperous. There is Tula Ekthar, who is a human noble sent from Bryn Shander. She has ties in Bryn Shander, and she's all about 10 towns working together, being more communal, sharing more resources, and to be just so they can all help each other through the harshness of the Rime. There is Master Anthul of the Valley. He is a short and stout Jorga who is intent on bringing like more research and things to the area, bringing a new way of jobs and interest to Goodmead through that way, and is very Jorgan-centric policies. Of course, Olivessa and Feth are also both candidates, but neither of them really want to have the vote, so they don't really have any kind of manifestos at all. Olivessa, in fact, when they do speak to the runaways, she discusses, they all discuss her suspicions about Merrin, and like she reveals that she has an intention to kind of like out Merrin today, with her testimony and like what she's seen, like Merrin, dealing with those white-handed bandits, and what the runaways have seen when they've examined the speaker's old body. She intends to just reveal his true nature to the entirety of the town at some point today. Raina kind of advises against this action, but Olivessa somewhat remains determined, and Raina kind of just has to put up with it, and okay, I'll keep an eye on you. So after the allotted time, which was where they're discussing like politics and things, which by the way was about an hour and a half in real time, like people just going back and forward about all these debates. I should have really recorded the whole thing, but an hour and a half campaign diary is a bit much. They began the votes. The crowd cleared, all the votes, the people who had votes moved to the centre in front of the stage, and the candidates were pulled on stage with Captain Indra, who called their names, and the vote came down pretty much as follows. So Olivessa had 3 votes, being the favourite. Merrin had 4. Master Anthul had 1 vote. Tula had 2 votes, and Fef also had 2 votes. So that's how the votes came down. So Merrin claims the victory. He walks up to have like a victory speech and is about to start speaking when Olivessa on the far chair on the stage kind of looks to Rayna and kind of just like a squint and a nod, and like in recognition that she's about to do something, and she begins to walk to the front of the stage, ready to to claim. Make her claim against Merrin. Rayna, who I found out later, thought Olivessa was actually going to kill Merrin. She began to try and climb up onto the stage and like try and intervene. She's like, "No, no, Olivessa, no." However, before she could even get onto the stage, there was somewhat of a bang and a whoosh as a 10-foot long log flew past the crowd's head above them and smashed Olivessa right off the stage and onto the floor about 20 feet away. The group turn as the town goes absolutely nuts, as bodies kind of flying everywhere, as there's 3 large creatures begin this assault on the village, start destroying buildings, whacking people off to the side, just instantly killing commoners. There was a hill giant, an ogre, and leading them all was Garg, that Verbeeg that they had let escape in the caves not too far away from Goodmead. From here, basically this is where the session-long battle ensued, and Captain Indra fights on the side of the runaways. I make various rolls and checks to make sure, to see like what she's going to do and if she's helping people get to escape. I'm also in the background like ticking off X's for all this damage and things, how much carnage these 3 invaders can cause, using that then to predict how long it will take for Goodmead to recover, and depending on what the players did, they could also mitigate some of that damage, apart from obviously killing the guys. So Rayna spent her first few turns getting to Olivessa, who she discovered to be, of course, dead. Her ribcage, more or less, like she had to do a strength check to get the thing off of her. Her ribcage was like impaling her own heart. Her thing was, her like clothes were completely blood-soaked. There was so much blunt force trauma, there was no way she was getting out of that. I did let them know after that there was a very, very slim chance that she could have survived. I was rolling death saves. She took 2 instant failed death saves when the log hit her, and when the start of combat she rolled an 8, so her first, she's pretty much dead. So yeah, she could have survived. That's extremely slim chance. It's also interesting to note that it may not have been Olivessa that got hit, as during the whole like speech thing and when they were calling people up to vote, I was rolling a d6 to kind of randomize when someone would show up, and it just happened to be towards the end when that whole thing kicked off. And I think it's probably worked out nicely that it was Olivessa that got hit down, because it's led to some very interesting things that happened next session, which I'm a bit behind on all my sessions, so I've got the next 3 ready to come up, or the next 2 after this one ready to go up almost instantly, and you'll see what happens in the next one. And this is pretty much where we left this session. It is pretty much just the entire fight, long drawn out fight against these 3 creatures being attacked. Rayna did make a note that Garg seemed to be like frothing at the mouth and had red eyes. I think she took away from it that she may not have been under her own under right of mind, like her own control. That was kind of a red herring I've thrown in there to maybe try and link Merrin to them or something, but they've kind of took that on because they've been thinking about that for a while, see if Merrin was somehow involved in that attack. So that's pretty much where we're just going to leave this campaign diary off. So it's another short one. I'm trying to just catch up really with what we're doing, and we'll get onto the next session very soon. I'm pretty happy with all that happened here. This is a big wake-up call for a lot of the people. So we'll deal with the aftermath, like I said, in the next campaign diary. Thank you guys for listening. This has been session 9/session 8.75, however you want to think of it. Election Day Part 2, and we will see you guys next time.